Thank you very much, Tom. Ja, KILI wichoya ke waphe kile ashna lechi wakata le oglala Lakota College hetaha wichoya ke ohunkanka nes oeha lechi unkunas na Lakota ashna unkoya kapelo. Uchaya tona anarup na kamhena you ha pilau ya pelo. Hona nakun nish ahu taku lechek che wichoya ke slab hena toha to cash ya u na ha nish olaka ba ki pelo. Uchaya tona anarup na kamhena KILI la pilau ya pelo. Na tona wana wash ya klapi na ha chankur na yang hena naku. Anarup tan kapo Lakota wong lakaklo na kung US wichoya ke na kung US kaklo. My name is Brian Charging Cloud, and we're coming to you from Lakota College Storytelling Hour. So I want to warmly welcome all of you and thank you for listening.
We chasho wakahich be chiake ma illustrious game at the idesha hingale me ela dona anagop dana gab hechimisha yuskia na bechuza apelo hecto heha wa waki shni chi ia o gabelet out khon hekta tkhapskata wawangwai hona hechi makhbir luta wawa Tchapskata Khoskalaka Kilila Dawa Echum Tchoke Igalustam Chimpich Jash Ambetu Zapta Chtatu Hehan Ganunicha Ijiamni Igalustam Ash He Khoaste Cha Ian Gabalecha Dahan Tchabaski Ihakab Oechi Han Gupi Nagalihuni Boheha Woechua Wichunkchiuhab Nalila Oyok Piwan Uhab Honaha Gupio heha awabalazina wetu ahis lechecha maraska chikala snogis laota onwichiankab minishoshe kwakata East River ekta owozu kuch ata mara elas eyumke na wa agachbes lecha na mara optaiki dektektel wisma hi sexekiampi. I'm gonna say word of the day kia. Wismahi. Okay.
Was it no?
Wismahi. He we choya ke le chalakes spemit ichie he arrowhead club. Wismahi.
Wismahi.
Do I he spemakia we choya ke hocha maraup taiki wismahi sex se waziata kia kiamp. Nana kuhi hani wekta nat khankal zindkala ochazia otalila yupiake loamp. Khashia Gnupaki, Hohe meadowlarks, na Wabaloshaki, Hohe red-winged blackbirds, na Geskali Hunipi. Chawetu Agli Sech Ash Ngana Shakhe Iwoblukde. Hocha Lewagaliki Lila Wibelushki, Nale Oapcheki Wonyaka na Dakuku Iwonglakak te Secham. Hohe.
We have a special guest here too, and he will tell you his name and who he is. Koka.
How I'm Betty Washday. Machbia Watakbe Machiapi. Nah. You had Diana Be Chuza PLO.
Oh. No.
I like to say hello to Mr. Nick Dressel. He's probably on his journey back home. And my mother Karen and baby Braylon. What's up?
Thank you, Richard. Okay, that was Richard Charging Cloud. He went to school at Red Cloud, graduated from Red Cloud, and he's on his spring break from Haskell Indian Nations University. And he wanted to thank Nick, if you're listening, he wanted to say thank you to you and Derek and all his Red Cloud football players, and also to Matt Rama and Mr. Tom Casey and all the football supporters, all those cheerleaders that usually come to the football games with their big horns and all dressed up in blue and white. And and he was Richard was on the last year. He was on the Haskell football team, and this will be his second year.
Illustrious.
Yeah.
Always illustrious.
So
rich.
I'm really proud of him. And not only football, but it's education. It's, and the grades that are really important. And it's today, I think it's good to see. And there's a lot of other Red Cloud graduates, Pine Ridge, Little Moon, Crazy Horse, Tuck County, Dubuque. They're all back on spring break from various colleges all over. And I want to thank them and welcome back to the reservation, and just keep going. Don't look back. Just keep going and get your education.
Yeah, so maybe this show today we can dedicate to all the young people and the not so young people who are engaged in continuing education, either here on the reservation through OLC or another tribal college, or out there beyond the boundaries at a 2 or 4 year college or university. And so a lot of you are back on spring break. I saw a lot of kids back at the school today, came back to visit, a couple of them down in Albuquerque at school, one down in Lincoln, Nebraska, and one up at Black Hills State, and a lot of them came back to visit kind of here and there. So this is dedicated to all the people from the Res who are representing there in college, and or those intending to continue their education, whether they're in high school or thinking about going back. And just want to say some encouraging words on your behalf, and keep going. We're really proud of you, and like everything else, it's probably got its ups and downs, but stick with it. There's a lot of rewards that come with it. So.
And always remember that you're somebody, and somebody loves you. And like Baha said, there's going to be ups and downs. It's not going to be all ups. And there's 2 words that we always say up here, and that's Wachintaka. And Nakun Blihich Yapi. Nakun Ohinia commitment. Takun Ohinia El Yauna. Takun El Ewachanihata. You're going to see some good things and persevere. And like we said, there's always home. We're always here, and you're going to be back. No matter where you go, you get your education, come back and help your schools, your communities, and the people.
Yeah. And speaking of in life, things aren't always up. We're gonna talk a little bit about the state tournament last weekend. So I went to the State A basketball tournament in Sioux Falls last weekend. I was talking about that earlier in the introduction, and it was a really good experience. I know the boys played really, really hard, and played, knowing that they were representing for everybody over here and actually for all of West River, because all the other 7 teams in the tournament were from east of the river. And even though, they, like everyone else in the tournament, would have really left to have finished first, they came in third, and that was, third overall in the state. They finished with the best record of any team in State A in South Dakota. So that was, we had a big welcome back for them on Sunday, and put on a deal for them. Had lots of cakes, had an honoring, and so it was a really good season. And just as a teacher there, I want to say publicly, I was really proud of both the boys and girls in the basketball program, whose season just ended, for how well they did, for how they represented the school and the reservation, and it's, the school has one of the most rigorous academic eligibility standards of any school in the state, I've been told. We're a lot harder on our kids. Their grades have to be more consistently high and higher than a lot of the other schools within South Dakota, East River or West River. So we really do hold them to a high standard, and so they're scholar athletes. They're scholars first. They're students first, and as long as they're doing the job they need to do in the classroom, then they can do the job they need to do on the court. So for everybody that was involved in winter sports in any of the schools, including wrestling, just want to say good season. We're moving into springtime now. I was saying earlier, the geese are back, the meadowlarks are back, the red-winged blackbirds are back. So one of these days you're going to see a big flock of cranes flying overhead, making that rattling sound that they make, and you'll know that the last snow will soon come, and green grass will come back, and that's my favorite time of year.
Richard, when he goes back Sunday or Monday, he works at the weight room too, right? And, he works like 2 or 3 hours a day as a work study, and then he was thinking about staying for the summer, but we haven't really talked about that yet. But right now they're going into their spring training for the football season. So keep going, Richard. Just sky is the limit.
And there's another word of the day I was going to ask about, because somebody asked me and I had no answer for them. And it's how you would say coach in Lakota. Because also wanted to say good season to all the coaches out there, basketball and wrestling coaches. They work really hard. I don't coach. I can only imagine how hard they work. But I see our coaches. They're here. Matt Rama, he's at the school before the sun comes up. He's there late. Opening the gym and working with the kids. We're really lucky to have him, Jerome, all the coaches. So if you or anybody out there has heard a word for coach, Lakota word.
There is another word we're looking for, and that's a statistics or statistician for Tom, right?
Yeah.
Because we need to give him a name.
Yeah.
That's number 14 is left. 114 deers.
hiha ata takuk eska hichbe.
Hoe tona narap na kafet el le awaya wan khpia luta ke ha Lakota ke ha ikpazopi khapskata vekta na ko shilag etjelapshne vichinchava ona hetja ikpazo na le dokeshke le one speech itchap one speak le trokahya ekigalepi han le hunkuna tkukupi ke henna han khapskata skata woskata Rich Lila Henata, Echompi, Chake, Lila Tan, Le Huxila, Chinchala, Upich Apon, Lila Oang Washte. Lila Oyuk Pisle, Chana Yobank. The Nat Hogata, the O Una or I Kithapi, Kilana El. Is skintia picte na ilagich picte in kanilata le wichon na la khol wichon na unkie pikle na ekta epazo ekta pazop in kanila washteslet ona tona helvan spekia ya un pihana na kanila wo pilat khanka hechayelo pilawi chaya pelo Hoya lechta tu ke ha tona na gopta na kavina lel wichoya ke un kahipi sanketo hena iwongo la kokta na kokaya takon iwara ka chinki he transhi wa Gerald one feather we taught us la wana he kichi Wanietu Shagloga che Tioshpa Kilel Ilagum Kitcha. And Nakohel Transhi which Hawaii Helisha Ilagicha. Anji Wahish Nanik Chiomos Afghana Water like a Transhi Richard Rokinos. Lichta to Kihan Transhi Gerald wasn't Tipekta Spire, Miniluzan Hector. Whereas Chihuahua Conca. Wanata ke na toksha wagalik taloe apetu khoka he nais apetu no pakke ha wagali hunik taloe chanke ya washte chanke ya tro in transhi del takon iwala kinten kha tiosh paikile ashna transhi tiosh paikile ashna wa on speak Osna iwogalak. Ona le chala wichoye epre le tuwa chintranka. Het just toha tanke ashna. Omeniche ke na ashna yecha ashna. Oate wichayi wita. Na mazas kamanayina. Na yothai. Nkasi tomnia ashna. Enana ke atioshpa ya el lehan igluita pun khana ashna wichayi wita chance na hana tuktels na kolki hip chance na tuktels na wanet tumaji gonas na nupa kigels na omniche unhapi ikche chasha tra omniche es ayashna oy kha le tioshpa kile the Charles Trashi Richard Tola Kahan Makakin Tohan Tanki Tohan ta we choi chare Tohan we choi chare kille Hiu Heche Hetaha Tioshpa Kilina U Ochanke na hehanta le Tioshpa Kilina Ptaela api Naha Okichi api Naha Cheki chapi, kichiyo ne hapi. Hona la chalas le trahashi pre nais hankashi, nais lekshi, ina ate trakoja, תחושה, תחושקה. הנה אצל לנה היה קומפי, לתיוש פעל. הונה לוותה כוי הנקו, וותה כוי כלי תוהוני הם כתושבשני. ונה וליה או הוני פיונך. גנה שנה תוקתק תל גנה תואה גנה תוקתת אוקי גנה סוליש נסצ'ה איש תואה הצ'ה הוהנצ'ה אשנה לאומניצ'ה הנתנה שלנה תואה סוליאצ'ה הנתנה אלונשנה תיוש פאי כלי תקו האב הנתנה שנה אשנה אויצ'ק יקלשנה תיוש פאי כלי נאי הני לשאבחקי אוקיצ'אב תוהוני תואני אקיך אשני יו הוויתה וויתה כי הני תחתחנקה אותבשה תחלו אגליפי ויצ'שה אשנה ווקי לפינה תחלו אגליפ התנש הל אתה אוקיהי פישני וגנה ואז פיסצ'ה יש וגנה נקו ונה ונייתו אותפי וגנה תחקה אשנה וויצ'ק הוהה לאוקיצ'ה הונה וקחייז'ה כלנה נקותו הני ישנלה ומפישני וקחייז'ה כלנה או הניה תואה עתה נאינה אלום פיאשנה צאתו הני ללדהן וקחייז'ה תוקתק תלמונש אשנה איצ'ה צ'וקפי הנה וניצ'ה הונה נקום וופחה יוהפי תיוש פאי כלנה וופחה יוהפי צאתואה וופחה כלי כקקסה הנתה הוהל נקום יהיה אינה ויצ'שה התחדשן כלי אשנה ויצ'ק יקה צ'קו אשתה מז'י אוגנה יא ויצ'יה הוהתה היתה כיוקפיה או אוגנה מני צ'נקלי ויצ'שי התחדשן כלי תקה כהנה אשנה נח אומפי נרופטפי חצה תוהוני איהני תוקתני תואני מזה רצה אוננתך אגלפשני וויצ'ק יקרנה והוק וויצ'ק יקרנה עוד חלה הייתה אשנה עוד חלה יוקפיה אשנה מני
ויצ'אי אותך
ויצ'אי אותך וצ'נקי שהה צ'לה תרהשי כתואר לקונך יוקצ'ה מגהינה na trole ovetjak mkter pchecht o hinya le wota ke asna el hona kole omniche hantanas helle tuale tiosh paeklena woila ke holena ektonjeshne ngana sonje chanchera awan نوانجی منش چنو پهوان نوانجی منش واهو کزا نیش واپها هنا آوان کن هنا یونه ها اشنا گلها ایپی امنیچی هات و هیچ نه نکون هل ویچوخ منش هنا لکهول ویچوخ کابن کوکی هیپی هنا هل ایکواک هل وچه که هتنش هنا اشنا توا ایلی هات آوان نمیش حتا لیلا وانس به اوتیمات تاکوکو وانبلاکی نه وماس لتخانشی ریچارد اشنا و چک تخانشی جاو هل نکن هوخ لیلا ویچوتا باشنا و چنکه لنا وانس به هچا لنا لکخول ویچوخ آنها و یو آنی هاپی هنا اکواک و چنشه تخوی gana haka belaken seche ash he ovetjaka vachi tiosh paikele tako hech no anale tiosh paikele le wota kuye na tukteta ya una ni tue kile na hekta kya gana shwanete opoinre sam wikchemena gana shagloga wahe ha hekta kya تخشني وباسي كعب أكيد. إنه هي إساميا Duenis linktishin chet. Trahe trosle wota kuihana owaya kinkte manasle le hanle oakpa manektale makhoche manasle makhoche yohapi le oake hecha wopa sikara pata nastua wota kuye takuya kihana ya pasiwaki. Ohena hechekche hena ulcha kache.
Machbilu dekta in Lakota Studies class giel iska family trees kachwichakya. Na hunch walaki hunch takuk chabash slogyash.
Is kosle chichiwa kegele ashna wakya ashna washitashna. You're related to her and her on my side. You're related to them on your mom's side. Wacha le tuaka takuicha hena ihasluke. Cha hena wakhan jaglana uchakya kokte cha hechel cheese this lishna to manash tuata kuyek ash manash chi intermarriage abacha. Hitchung chahung and the uchung yakko. Which I had Hosh had and then he knows where he came from and he knows who he is. And then when he goes to these meetings, and he will see for himself what Tioshpai is. What Tioshpai is all about: helping each other, being together, and keeping the Lakota going. There's 12 active Tioshpai on this reservation. And what I mean by active is that they're organized and they have meetings. They go to these meetings, and they have like these responsibilities, like the staff keeper, the pipe keeper, the drum keeper. And then we have meetings like maybe twice a year, and they all meet there, and then they all have a chance to like tell who they are, and then they have names, the Tioshpai names, like ours is Machbiat Chakpe, but that's his name, and like his grandfather's name was Machbiat Chakpe. So, but in maybe about 4 generations, like the brothers have different names. Like on my side is like Charging Cloud and War Bonnet and can't remember the other one. But there's like 4 brothers, and they all have a different name. And then the next generation after that is when they keep the names. In other words, like the Charging Cloud keeps going down the list. But before that, they have different names. So, like I think maybe like I said, 180 years back, you can trace your family tree. I was looking at my family tree, and I saw one in there that went back to 1827, and that's why I said about 180 to 170 years. That you can go back, and beyond that, maybe there's no records. So, and now, like you're doing family trees, and that's really good for the children and for their parents too, the young parents, like people like Richard's age, and Ryan's age. It's good for them. And also they learn this Teoshpai also involves a lot of the spiritual part too, and like the 7 sacred rites, and they learn them and just what they are, and they can take part in it too. So I'd like to wish Gerald wellness, and I'd like to see him back again Monday morning. Oh. Do you have any questions on the Teoshpai, Richard? No. It's a family history. It's a family name, and it also like blood in your family. And family, some people call it family identity. And then we tell you who you're related to on your mom's side and on my side. And you know who your grandpa is, your grandma, on each side. Ina, ate, lala, kaka, ji, like that, like she.
And then I heard a saying too that I was thinking of when you were talking, old time saying, I guess it was Wabaleni chalas e imaphi. Wabaleni chalas e imaphi. And that's ehani dueni ishnale chachish. Dua ganash duewa ganash hunkunat kukuki api nish ahik tepi hatta duegi yuha wokupi na awayan kapi.
Si ihani nakole le ihani le hektak wichong tonak sa topa nish zapta he le wakta umpina le heghetas gonas na chizapi gonas le ihani le Lakota na karicha sagashna Shungmanu pinaish nakon wia mai chanum na checha ching Victoria kawash tawas umka kha wia manum na ish nakon ho khuchakte hata nasla khanja klena tohone wableni chapshne le lekshit ku kele ate ha ish nakon la ina le iska troichu henako inai. So tohoni le wableni chawani cha. It's a gap here. That's right. So here o unke ha you at you have style lila was agya with shona cha. So that is a brief definition of Teoshpai. And what I'm telling this little information on Teoshpai, I just talked to Gerald, one feather. He's in the hospital at Rapid City. So before I came up here, I decided to talk about the Teoshpai. The Teoshpai started when the Lakota life started. And Teoshpai is all about helping each other, togetherness, and helping children, helping the elders, and keeping alive the Lakota way. And the priority or the main thing is to keep the kinship system. They address each other by the relative terms, uncle, father, mother in Lakota. and then tell our young people about the Tioshpai, in the Tioshpai way. That's how life is. And then they have laws too. They said that there's rules. They always, I see 4 rules, but I don't have those 4 rules. But with these rules, life was in harmony and in balance. And everybody lived happy. Everybody was happy. And if one, this law, if somebody ever goes beyond that law, then they always have somebody they call him Wichasha Itancha. There's always a leader. And sometimes in the modern times we call that leader chief. And this person will talk to whoever breaks that law, and then they don't go to jail in those days. They just talk to them, and life goes on. So that's Tioshpai. So again, those of you that are listening, and some of you are on your way back to Rapid City, thank you for listening. And we have a story, a short story here that we're going to tell in Lakota, and we'll translate it.
So this story is called Wagab Chapi na Wasna. Ata he balawana lo chima hingale. Wagab Chapi na Wasna. Ehani Wagab Chapi ena Wasna omani yabshke. Yukha Wagab Chapi hake. Chekpa niena mie kola ungichie gilet chogatakia guluha unyiktelo eke. Cha ogichia ungomaniktelo eske. Wanata choya hiayap cheha aha khotaha ikto atayapske. Ikto agab khapi ena wasna wawichangina lochi hingalaske. Wanchagana ikto woyukcha wangachashke. Misu iotakapo chanliblu hacha asniakiap iktelo eke. Wadoha yukha ikto hake. Miechunipo ena Baha Khotaha Yaina Ashkas Egelihunike Insha Wagab Hapi Baha Khotaha Yaina Gliukha Iktoe Chahake Dokye Ilale Waheha Wasnawa Eni Chilo Nanagu Nanichta Kinkta Gelo Ake Chanisha Nachtaka Yo Ake Atawa Gabhape ena wasnakichi onakichi dampina onakichi juju bichekto yupiake wotashke. Lehal hetchen a duat daya unish daku daya et shunkesh dakomani ungie ena daya unkumpishi. Ohe.
And Louis Skakta.
Mincemeat and pemmican. Mincemeat and Pemmican went on a journey. Mincemeat said, "Twin, you and I are good friends, and we shall always remain such. Let us stand by one another, because this is a dangerous journey." On the other side of the ridge they met Iktomi. He was feeling very hungry when right in front of him he saw Mincemeat and Pemmican side by side. He quickly contrived a plan. He said, "Brothers, you look very tired. Sit down and I will give you a smoke and we will rest." Soon Iktomi said, "Just excuse me a moment." And he went over a little hill and then came back. Mincemeat said, "Just excuse me a moment." And when Mincemeat came back, Iktomi said, "While you were away, Pemmican said bad things about you. He said he would kick you. Why don't you kick him?" Then the two started to kick each other until they broke each other up. Ikto laid down his pipe and had a good feast. To this day, two good friends might get along nicely, but there's always someone who gets them to kick at each other. And that is from The story was told by Joseph Eaglehawk to Martha Warren Beckwith in 1926.
Yeah.
KILI.
Again, this is a Ohunkanka story, Itomi. And when you tell these Ohunkanka stories, Itomi is always the big brother. He always calls you Misun because he always wants to get the upper hand.
Yeah, call the shots.
And he's always looking to, like if he's hungry, he's always looking for some kind of a plan so that he can fill himself up. And the other thing is that, and these stories, remember last time when we came up here, I think I mentioned what is storytelling in the Lakota. And when we tell these stories, these Ohunkanka stories, it always illustrates a virtue that within Lakota culture, a virtue that is essential to balance and happiness. And sometimes they tell you the opposite side. And you have to figure it out yourself. And they tell these in the evening to the whole family. And when they tell these stories, then like the younger people or even the older people, they think about it and they learn something from there. It comes into their life, and it's an education. And the Lakota virtues, and I think we always, like in storytelling, you always have them, whether it's humility, respect, sacrifice, or honesty. And like here, you can see that Ikto, even though he uses respectful, like excuse me, in the Lakota language, like Miecho Nipo, then he uses the respect, but then in the end he's disrespectful to those twins, right? Yeah. And these virtues are, we have them in the Lakota way. They're in what is that word? It says, I think it's instilled in us, just like please or thank you. So storytelling is all about. It makes you think. It makes you when there's a story like this, it brings out one or two of these virtues. What did you see from here? Did you?
I've had friends like that. Or experiences where somebody comes in and kind of temporarily wrecks things. Or sometimes you fight over a woman or something. But they're kind of at the beginning of the story, they're kind of carefree or happy-go-lucky, or however you want to say it, and And one thing about the story that I noticed was it barely takes any time for him to be able to
Trick
teach.
yeah.
Even people and these guys, they're real close to each other. So they're twins to each other, and in barely any time at all, Kitomi's already come between them and created strife between them and gotten them to argue with each other, fight with each other. And one thing that it made me think of in modern day life is how quickly people can turn against each other based on rumors, or gossip, and nowadays you can do it really quickly. You got computers now, you got email, you got Bebo, so a lot of times I hear at school somebody will get mad at somebody else because they saw something on their Bebo page they didn't like, or somebody got on their Facebook page or their MySpace or their Bebo and said something, or told them somebody else said something, or told them somebody else did something, and maybe I had a student come into class yesterday and she was really mad. She saw another girl said something on her boyfriend's Bebo page like that, and maybe that other one was just trying to cause trouble, like Ikitomi in that story. Maybe it was someone that liked him or that used to go out with him and was jealous now that he was involved with somebody else. So they were trying to, but they knew that in human nature, in people, it's for some reason we're really inclined to do that. Maybe we're good friends, and then somebody comes along and says, "Hey, you should have heard what Brian said about you the other day at OLC or whatever." And sometimes we'll even believe that from like a stranger, even though that person in question is our good buddy. So I think that's one of the cautionary parts of this story, and the reason why it's one of the reasons why it's told and why it's even survived to this day, because it's still as true as it ever was. And maybe part of that is that the people that we're the closest friends with can be the people that we can be hurt the most by. Maybe whether it's a friendship or a relationship. And sometimes maybe you've had a really close friend, and if you get mad at them over something, you can be much more mad at them than you would be at just some person that cut you off on the street or insulted you in some way. I tend to think we really can hold stronger grudges against people that we have been closer to, because we really feel deeply about that relationship. And if it kind of goes bad, or even in within our minds, if it goes bad, then we can really hold on to that tightly. So
I think sometimes, like you in a day, or like sometimes we like this on the bottom here it says Ikto es etaku uyushi chapi. In other words, Ikitomi can really ruin what he does, can ruin like you said, relationship, or even your day or your evening or even your meal. And there's little things that happen in a day that'll cross your mind, and it might upset you, but but you have to have that fortitude, and also the what is it? What's another word? If you let it get to you, then it's going to ruin your. Maybe just that little period, you might get mad at somebody without even looking around. If you really grab it and make a decision without even thinking. So, it makes you think what this Iktomi does to people. Like you said, things can happen really fast. But so you have to be really strong. You have to really understand, and also sometimes like someone will like I've heard the little things like don't listen to them. I mean, you hear it, but don't listen to it. The bad things, because it can upset you, and it can ruin your day. What about you, Richard? Do you see anything there that you want to add? Like when you in your school, like a school day, do you worry about something? Or like when you're away from home, things like that. Something gets you very upset, or something crosses your.
Well, you can't let the little things get to you. And well, for me, I get to take it out in football practice 2 times a day, so nothing really ever bothers me. Good. Just do your homework and attack your homework. And,
so last time, 2 weeks ago, last time I was on, our assignment was keep track of your TV watching. And this week our assignment is think of somebody that you're estranged from, that you fought with at one time or argued with and are still holding on to that, and call them up and talk to them. or join the football team and take it out on the pads.
I think like you mentioned TV watching. Remember we talked about that. What's that one word that we talked about one day? The word of the day. That day.
Lakota or English?
Lakota. Like an altar. Chatku. Chatku. The Chatku Kile, like that came to my mind one time. I went home and I sat down and I was looking at that TV, and that word Chatku come to. So, what am I doing here? I put that TV right in front of me and sit here and watch it, and then have a conversation at the same time and eat at the same time, and trying to have an evening time with the family, and at the same time I'm listening to whatever his name is on that CNN or that Channel 7. And that is the center of the evening right there. That it sits right there in the corner and talks to you, tells you all the bad news in the world.
And always in English.
Yeah.
Only English.
English, yeah. It's powerful.
So that's my biggest issue with it. Bilingual program here is it only, for the most part, transmits in English.
And it's a lot of times, like one evening, Richard's mother, Karen was reading to me in Lakota. She was reading a story in Lakota, And I was sitting there and I was trying to listen to that story in Lakota, and at the same time I was trying to catch up on who was selected for the NCAA tournament. And she's sitting there reading it in Lakota. And I wasn't even listening to that, but I was just maybe pretending to be listening just so that I won't get chewed out or something. And I was just sitting here trying to see where Kansas is who they're going to play for the first game, and if they win that game, are they going to play who's the other team? and then, so I didn't even pay attention. I listen to it, I hear it, but it doesn't really. And she probably thinks I was listening to it, so she finished the whole story.
Hold on yourself.
Yeah, I've told her myself. No, but those are things that we do, like on a daily life. It's the English language is taking it takes over, right?
Yeah. That's and then there's a modern term that I heard. Another word of the day for that is either otakiashka, hakayashka, multitask.
Yeah, sometimes I think we put what's that old saying? Put too many branding irons or whatever.
Too many eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Easter's coming up.
Maybe we better mention something about that before we leave. But what's good? What really is going to happen Friday night? Richard and I went up north yesterday, and I prayed for my sister because she was sick. So I mentioned that that for a long time that this weekend is. When I was small, the Easter is all about like Lakota. And today it's when you say that, then it's usually like somebody might say, "I'm going to go home and color some eggs," but that's part of it now. It's modern times. That's like this that life we live in now. We have these things now. So with that, I hope all of you that are listening are now close to home. Thank you for listening. And all of you have a real good evening. And this hour is brought to you by Oglala Lakota College. It's called the Storytelling Hour. Now, before we leave, I want to thank Tom for making us, we call it Tiopa Yuran. Ichat Tiopa Yuran. And he's a very good what's that word he used?
Illustrious.
He's an illustrious person. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for listening. You say thank you. Good night.
Thank you to everyone who's listening out there. Have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Dona nachuna gabhena lila opslet khanka geni chapelo. Na dona wanaya glabhet chi down manipo na waktapo ehash och ankhoya gachapap shnio oekinash changsai haki oni usbakte na khansua jinich ukte na crash yaut khaina ha Our Lady of the Suekta a khab zigzitcha wiobkhab ge choglala yati hantash a khab zigzitcha pizza eta eobkhekhu ohe